Is this isn't the first time you've seen Sandy in person,
No,
is it? No.
no.
Okay. Have you ever spoken to her?
Yeah, yeah, I have.
What is it like for you to be around her? Is it painful or?
Um, it's something that God doesn't give you an option in life. I don't believe that forgiveness is an option with anyone, and my heart goes out to her. She got a life sentence the night that happened, so she's got to go to bed with it, and she has to wake up with it. So it's painful. I think it's painful for all the parties.
And you've spoken to her before. How did that go? What did she say?
I was taken by surprise, and again, it was really emotional, as much for her as for myself. I got caught off guard seeing her, and she got caught off guard seeing me. But I think through all the publicity that she recognized me pretty immediately, and I had to guess who she was, but it didn't take long to figure it out.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
It was at a board of directors meeting a couple months ago.
What did you say to her?
I'd rather not comment on that right now.
You're going to be here all 3 days. Why is it important to be here for you?
It's important to represent my family. It's important to stay strong for my daughter that's passed away. It's just important to continue the fight against TriMet. They just continue to neglect what operators' views are on their safety precautions. They continue to try to manage safety through management and neglect the fact that safety comes through the operations of their company. It doesn't come throughout management decisions or anything like that. They've already established those as a management team. They need to give it to people that actually understand transit and how safety works. And they don't know. They just flat out don't know. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to react to it.
Do you anticipate any issues related to training or procedures will be addressed in this trial, or more so during your civil proceedings?
I think mainly during our civil proceedings, most of it will come out. But again, the more I hear, the more I'm around, the more I see, the more I observe and investigate on my own. It's evident that this problem's been long ago. The operators have been talking about, they can't see out of the mirrors, they can't see past the fare machines, and they're not listened to. And it's created that culture that we need to change. It's created that culture of just, get out of my way. I'm trying to meet schedule. And they do a fabulous job protecting the passengers, but they do a horrible job protecting the public. Just because we're not on the buses don't mean we deserve to be protected. And it's a tough job. Everyone knows that. I mean, on the streets downtown, it's a tough job. And they don't have an easy job being safe, but they need to follow procedures and follow their gut feeling. Why didn't she drive around the block? To stay on route? Big deal. Stay on route? What does that have to do with safety? It sounds like she put my family in a position of this. And a lot of poor choices and a lot of poor training. Negligent on the fact they don't certify their drivers properly. Sandy Day has testified that she has a hard time seeing around that mirror, around the pillar, around all of that. Officers will testify to that today, I'm sure of it, because it's a fact. Many operators have complained about this problem, and TriMet continues to neglect it. They just don't flat out care.
So you filed suit against TriMet?
Absolutely.
Right? And all the other families have as well?
I believe so, yes.
Against the city or against TriMet?
You'd have to look that up through the records. I'm not really going to comment too much on our civil case because I'm not, my biggest concern isn't the case. My concern is the safety of people and this not happening to people anymore, and getting their attention to the fact that they need to make changes and they need to listen. And they just flat out don't do that.
How do you think things are going so far in the first day of the year?
Going as expected. A lot of a lot of traumatic information. A lot of people were affected by this, and my hat goes off to the men and women of the fire and rescue, of the Portland Police Department, and anybody that's involved there. It was the most traumatic and horrific crash in TriMet history, as well as most of the people that observed it and that were on scene after the fact. So it's a bad thing. It's really a bad thing, and they continue to put people in that position, which makes no sense to me. But TriMet treats this as a budget line item when they need to treat it as something they can fix. And all these accidents are stamped preventable, preventable, preventable. Well, if they're so preventable, then why aren't they preventing them or doing a better job at preventing them?
How did you make it through the trial? What did you use during this traumatic testimony to keep things together the first time?
I just have to rely on God. I know you guys hear that a lot, but I'm glad to hear it a lot because it's the truth. If it wasn't without God, I couldn't be here today. This has been such a horrific incident to my family and I that without God, we have nothing. And really, that's all it's going to get us through this. Knowing that my daughter's in a better place and she had a friend to go with.